Hello students, I hope you all are doing well. Today we are going to start with our chapter 1 of class plus 2 biology, and the name of the chapter is sexual reproduction in flowering plants. As we know, flowering plants come under the category of the angiosperms. Last year we have studied that we categorize plants actually into the 5 subtypes, and they are bryophytes, pteridophytes, gymnosperms, angiosperms and the chlorophyll containing algae. Okay, so gymnosperms and angiosperms are multicellular higher category of the plants which shows the maximum evolution, and gymnosperms are those category where the plants are having the naked seed, means seed is not enclosed in a fruit, and angiosperms are those which are flower bearing plants, means here reproductive organ flower is formed by the plant. Okay, so we know the male reproductive part is called as the androecium and the female reproductive part is called as the gynoecium. And reproduction is defined as a process to bring the next generation, that is the next progeny, to maintain the genetic continuation of any species. So while talking about this chapter, first we are going to follow according to the NCERT, and here we categorize this into the 3 stages. First is the pre-fertilization stage, that is the prior stage before the fertilization. Second is the fertilization stage, and the third is the post-fertilization stage or the phase. As we know, fertilization means fusion of male and female gametes, and in a higher category of the organisms, whether they are plants or animals, all the gametes are going to be haploid. Haploid means they contain one N, means one number of chromosome, so it will proper allow the crossing or exchange of the information between the male and female, because male gamete is also haploid in nature as well as the female gamete is also haploid in nature, and haploid consistency is maintained by a specific process which is only responsible for the formation of gametes, and that process is called meiosis. As we know, meiosis is a reduction division, means here the two number of chromosomes are going to be reduced into 1n, so it will proper allow the consistency of the genetic information from the male as well as from the female, and they can exchange their genetic information to form the next generation. As we know, in a plus one we studied this, that meiosis is only responsible for the formation of the gametes. Meiosis is not responsible for any other activity in the multicellular organism. It is only going to take place when the individual or the organism attain the reproductive maturity and when they start forming the gametes. So here the male gamete is pollen or pollen grain, which is haploid in nature because it is formed by the process of meiosis, as well as the female gamete is also haploid in nature because it is also formed by the process of meiosis, and male gamete is called pollen and female gamete is called egg, ova or ovum. It is one and another same thing. Okay, so pre-fertilization phase is that phase where the plant is going to get ready for the process of the fertilization. Fertilization is also called as the syngamy. Syngamy is the fusion of the gametes. Syn in a Latin language means fused and gamy means the gametes. So fused gametes are going to be formed. So in a pre-fertilization phase or in a pre-fertilization stage, androecium, gynoecium are going to be developed completely. As we know, androecium is the male reproductive part and gynoecium is the female reproductive part. And staminate is the male reproductive parts and pistillate is the female reproductive parts. Staminate, stamen, staminode is the same thing, and it consists of the bilobed anther and a stalk-like structure which is called filament, whereas the pistillate is comprised of stigma, style and ovary. Stigma is the receptive site of the pollen grain. If the pollens are compatible, means they are going to be matched, then the pollen tube is going to be formed, which is going to be propagated through the style. Propagation means the movement, and with the help of this pollen tube, egg is going to be fused with the pollen grain in the last part of the pistillate, that is called ovary. Okay, so प्री फर्टिलाइजेशन फेज में जो है रिप्रोडक्टिव स्ट्रक्चर्स प्रॉपरली फॉर्म हो जाएंगे, चाहे वो एंड्रोशियम है चाहे वो गाइनोशियम है. अगर मैं पार्ट्स की बात करूं तो वो पिस्टिलेट है तो फीमेल पार्ट हो गया, और अगर स्टैमिनेट है तो मेल पार्ट्स हो गए सारे. ओके, एज वी नो, the male part or male parts consist of the bilobed anther and the stalk-like structure which is called filament, and together they are called as the staminate. Bilobed anther means the anther which is divided into two parts consist of the pollen sac. Sac means the bag-like structure, and there are two pollen sac on the either side, and they are total 4 in number. Therefore, they are called as pollen sac tetrads. Okay, pollen sac are basically the structure which are formed where the pollen grains are going to be reside till they attain the maturity. As we know, pollen grains are male gamete. When they get maturity, they are going to create the force on the whole of the pollen sac. So the pollen sac is going to be ruptured, which is called the dehiscence of the pollen sac, means the opening of the pollen sac. So the pollen grain are going to be shed away. They can be carried to their target stigma, that is the female part, one of the part you can say, and with the help of the biotic agents means having the life, or the abiotic agents means non-living structures. Okay, that is another thing we are going to discuss later. Pollen sac are also called as microsporangia or microsporangium. They are total 4 in number, as we know. Microsporangium is basically surrounded by the 4 layers, and the name of the layers and thicca is the same thing, and the name of the layers are epidermis, middle layer, endodermis and tapetum. As we know, epidermis is the outermost layer, middle layer lies on the middle side, then endotheca or endodermis is the innermost layer, which is surrounded by the layer called as tapetum, and the function of the tapetum is to give the nourishment to the developing pollen grain. And basically the function of these 3 layers, that is epidermis, middle layer and endodermis, is they are protective in nature and they help in the dehiscence of anther to release the pollen. Okay. Then the process is microsporogenesis. Microsporogenesis is defined as the process of formation of microspores from pollen mother cell. Pollen mother cell is also called as PMC. Microsporogenesis, it is defined as the process of the formation of the microspores from the PMC, that is the pollen mother cell. Here the sporogenous tissues which are present in the mature anther goes under the process of meiosis, and as we know, every cell is basically diploid in nature. When they undergo the process of the meiosis, then the sporogenous tissue get converted into the meiotic gametes, that is 1n. मतलब उन्होंने अपने आप को डिप्लॉयड कंसिस्टेंसी से चेंज करके हैप्लॉयड बना लिया है, और meiosis as we know is responsible for the process of haploid formation, है ना. तो यहाँ पे sporogenous tissue basically microspore tetrads बना देंगे, और sporogenous tissue फॉर्म कहाँ से हुए? पीएमसी से हुए. पीएमसी क्या है? पोलन मदर सेल है. ओके, तो अगर हम फ्लो शीट में इसको समझाएं तो स्पोरोजिनस टिश्यू जो हैं दे अंडरगो द प्रोसेस ऑफ मियोसिस, देन दे आर गोइंग टू फॉर्म द माइक्रोस्पोर टेट्राड्स. Microspore tetrads are going to develop into the pollen grains, and pollen grains are then going to be released by the dehiscence of the microspore tetrads. पोलन ग्रेन्स बहुत ही वायबल स्ट्रक्चर है, उनकी वायबिलिटी बहुत ज़्यादा हाई है, मेल गैमीट बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग है. ये इनके पास प्रोटेक्टिव लेयर नेचर ने प्रोवाइड की हुई है, दैट इज़ द एक्साइन एंड इंटाइन. एक्साइन बेसिकली एक बहुत ही जो है स्ट्रॉन्ग प्रोटीन कॉटिंग से कॉटेड है, और इस प्रोटीन का नाम है स्पोरोपोलिनिन, और ये स्पोरोपोलिनिन बहुत ही हाई विथस्टैंड कर सकता है टेम्परेचर को और स्ट्रॉन्ग एसिड्स को. देन इंटाइन जो है वो इनर मोस्ट लेयर है, और ये सेलुलोज और पेक्टिन से बनी हुई है, क्योंकि हमें पता है कि प्लांट के पास सेल वॉल है और सेल वॉल सेलुलोज से बनी होती है. ओके, देन सेल्स ऑफ द पोलन ग्रेन. Yes, pollen grain also consists of the 2 types of the cell. One is the vegetative and one is the generative. Vegetative cell, as the name indicates, it is rich storage of the vegetation. It is having the abundant food reserve material, and here the nucleus is very irregular in shape. और जो generative cell है, it is going to generate, so it is having very dense cytoplasm. I hope this topic is clear. If you are having any doubt, then you can ask me.